Hey, it's Debbie Kaler, and obviously if you're watching this video, it's because you want to sell your house on your own without an agent. There's a lot to it, a lot more than you think there would be. A couple disadvantages that you're going to have, though, is you won't be able to be part of the MLS, which is the multiple listing system. The great thing about the MLS is that when I input a listing, it automatically goes to all the other websites, like I'm Lakes Area Realty, Debbie Kaler Real Estate. But maybe somebody from far off hasn't heard of that. When I put your listing in, it shows up on RE/MAX, on Edina, on Century 21, so automatically all agents have access to that. That's one disadvantage. Another one, Homes Plus, around here, super popular magazine that you won't be able to be in. So being you can't do that, you're gonna have to be extra sharp and pay extra attention to how you actually market your home. And be top-notch at it. Before I get into that, it's really important that you talk to either an accountant or your bank, depending on what your motives are for selling. If you're selling your house because you want a bigger, better property, or for whatever reason that may be, definitely talk to your banker and see what you're going to qualify for. If you're selling your home for other purposes or situations that have come up in your life, make sure that you talk to an accountant first, because there's new tax laws all the time and there might be things you're overlooking and you just might have to do things a little bit differently. I know the agents out there can talk to you more about that too. We can't give legal advice, but we all know great bankers and great accountants, if you don't already have one, that we can refer you to. So with that behind you, first thing that you're going to have to do is establish a price. I wouldn't ever try to do that on my own. I can tell you horror stories. If you've read my book, The Ultimate Guide to Buying and Selling Homes in the Willmar area, there is a chapter on that actually where someone sold a house for $125,000 and they could have gotten double that. But they'd been there for so long they thought that was a good price. I've seen the other end of the spectrum too, where houses are priced so far out of their range that they can't even get anyone to look at it. You can have an agent come over and do a market analysis for you. I'd recommend getting 2 to 3 different opinions on that actually, because it is your biggest investment and you want to make sure that the price is done right. Certified market analysis, I do what's called a pinpoint price analysis, so mine's just a little bit different. But actually we do want you to call us, because in the event that you don't sell it by yourself or can't, hopefully one of us will have clicked with you enough where you'll feel comfortable enough to list it down the road if you get sick of doing all this, because honestly there is a lot to it and I told you I'd walk you through it, so I'm going to do that. After you've established the price, you want to get a home inspection done. I know a few home inspectors in our area, they're all really good, but there's several reasons you want to do that. You want to head off problems before somebody else sees them or finds them. Many times there's a bunch of little fixes, but if you wait for the buyer to have that home inspection done, and home inspectors are very detailed, which is great because you can head off problems, but if you don't have it done first and the buyer does, and they come with a sheet like this long, all these little things that you need to take care of, it's better that you do them up front and don't have any questions coming from that buyer. It makes the house more appealing to them to know that you've taken the time to fix the little things that have need to be fixed. And maybe there's things that you didn't know that you were neglecting. It's a good chance for you to get in and fix those. After the home inspection, declutter, depersonalize. That's in my book too. But some things that you're interested in, buyers aren't. Remember, you're selling the house, you're marketing it. You want to make it more appealing to someone else, not yourself anymore. So depersonalize, declutter. Once that's done, you want to hire, if you can, someone to stage your home. Janice Hugavine works in my office and she's certified for home staging. She's excellent. You might want to call her or somebody else that you're comfortable with, but try to get that done because it can make all the difference in the world, and staging your property the right way can mean a couple extra $1,000s for you if it's done properly. Once your home is staged, you would probably want to have somebody come in and take good pictures. If you can hire a professional photographer, great. I know a lot of them. We've got several good ones in the area. Make sure they use the wide-angle lens. If you can't hire a professional, don't just use a cheap, cheesy, disposable camera. Don't use your cell phone. Find a good quality camera. Agents out there now have really good cameras, and believe me, you don't want to try to compete with us that way. Get a good camera. Once you've gotten your pictures, you'll want to do the video. Now your house is staged, you know where you're going with it. A professional HD video goes a long way. Now I use Tim Shermack to do mine. He does a fantastic job. You'll have to get on my website and check out some of my videos, but get somebody that has the right equipment, that really knows their stuff, that knows what they're doing. Once that's done, you're going to want to create a website just special for your home, for your property address. There's nothing more frustrating than when people drive by and they're looking for someone to contact. The only thing you have to contact you with is your cell phone, and you're trying to talk them through it. Give them a website to go through that has the pictures, that has the video, that has all the information on your house. I need to back up just a little bit. I can even send you one of these, but it's for you to fill out just a little questionnaire on why did you buy the property, what have you done to it since you bought it, what are the benefits to the neighborhood, what's the hardest thing about leaving your home. It's going to help you write a better story about your house to make it appealing to that next buyer. Let the house sell itself. That's the big thing. You can't sell your house. Your neighbor can't sell your house. Your house has to sell itself, and the best way to do that is to market it properly. So this little page that I just showed you will help a lot. So think about that. Once you get all those things in order, and before your sign even goes up in the yard, because you want to be prepared before somebody drives by. You want to have all your marketing things in order. So you'll want to take this questionnaire, do the write-up on your house, and then take it to a print shop and have nice brochures made, so when people are coming through, that you have something to hand them. And there can also be, this should also be on your the website for your house. Then it's time to buy a sign. I mean, there's lots of places you can go get one, but make it look nice. Don't just go to your local hardware store and get the little orange and black house for sale. That's just not the way to market it. Make it a nice, big, creative sign, and you can get online, you can call me. There's lots of places that you can order nice signs. I've gone to Pro Graphics in Willmar, Quick Signs in Willmar. They do a fantastic job, and they can make one nice and colorful, eye-catching, instead of your boring little hardware store signs. Excuse me, I have to look at my notes because there's a lot to this. I have to find out where we are, and I think we are now on number 12. So once you've done that, make sure that you put this on your social media page, put it on Facebook, get it on Zillow, Trulia, anything you can have access to for people to find. When calls start coming in, and this is the hard part for you, is, you know, any Tom, Dick, and Harry can call you and ask you to see the house. Sometimes it's out of just curiosity. They've driven by it a few times and wonder what it looks like. Worst case scenario, and there are nightmare stories about this, I want you to take it seriously and be really careful about it. Sometimes it's people that want to get in to see what you have, so they can case the house, come back later, and take some of your stuff. I mean, it's never happened personally to me, but I've read about it, I've heard about it. Make sure all your valuables are put away, and when people call to see your house, make sure they've been to the bank and been qualified. Before you let them in your door, ask to see that letter from the bank. Don't just let anybody in. And that's another thing with open houses. We as agents are good to kind of follow people around and keep an eye on people and go through the house first and make sure you don't have anything sitting out that shouldn't be. But if you're not experienced and you don't know what you're doing, be really careful with that. I'd caution you about the open houses and make sure that whoever you let in does have a letter from the bank. Next thing that you want to do, the forms. Let's say that you show somebody, they're really interested, they want to write an offer. You want to make sure that your rear end is covered and that you have all the proper forms. So make sure you have a good attorney that can provide them, or talk to an agent and have them look over your purchase agreement after you write it up. But for instance, this is just the basics. I don't mean to scare you, but hey, I don't want you guys to get sued either. But there are 7 pages here that just barely touch on things. By the time we're done writing these pages, we can have 16 to 20, I've even had probably 25 pages. So there's a lot to cover in there, and it's all to protect you. So make sure you have all of them. If you have a well and a septic system, you want to make sure that you have the septic certification done, you're water tested. The last thing that you need to do is sell your house, think you're done with it, think it's all behind you, that you've done great, and 3 months later the septic goes out or they find out it's not up to code or whatever, and then you're in trouble and it's going to be another $10,000. So you'll want to go to marketingwillmarhomes.com, and there you'll find my 14-point detailed marketing plan. And you're going to want to follow that as closely as possible. If you're going to be competing against agents out there who have these plans and are marketing and getting all the attention, really, marketingwillmarhomes.com. Go there, 14-point plan. It's everything that I've covered here today. There's still things to do after the sale that we take care of too. So make sure that after you have the purchase agreement written up and your attorney checks it and you've found the closing agent and you've done all that, that you have all your utilities transferred. I've seen that nightmare too, where somebody gets stuck with their old utility bills and they've had to pay like $400+ extra because utilities didn't get transferred. So little points like that too. If you want to know any more, again, check out marketingwillmarhomes.com. Call me, and I'm open to answer questions for you. If you want any of the forms that we talk about, I can't give you the purchase agreement. That's from the Realtors Association. You'll have to get them from your attorney, but anything else we talked about today, feel free to call me. One more thing, I want to tell you about my Smart Seller program. This is a program that gives you the best of both worlds, where you have the opportunity to sell your home on your own without paying any commission, and I still do the marketing. The Smart Seller program. If you want to know more about it, give me a call.